So I want to do a quick little video for you guys, and this is how I Texas rig. So I start with my Beyond Braid moss color green. I tie my braid to fluorocarbon knot. I got my fluorocarbon, which is anywhere between 10 to 17 pound depending on what I'm fishing. And then you have your bullet weight of whatever size you want to use. So right now I currently have an 1/8 ounce on, and I got a 3/0 EWG hook, so it's extra wide gap, and you can see it's got a little bit of a bend in it, and that's where the bait sits. So you want to start out, I'm rigging it up with a Fatties from Z-Man. So you want to start out with, you got your round shank of the hook, the internal part there, you know, this flat part right here. That's pretty much what you want to get embedded into your soft plastic. So the Fatties has a slit in it, so you can rig this on a couple different things, jig heads, etc. But you want to stick your hook point center of that bait and push it in as far up until you hit where the bend of the hook starts. Let me get away from the water, the bank here. And then as you get to that point, you want to make sure you're lined up and come in center of that plastic bait and push your hook through, work it, and as you work it through, you want to spin it around. So now you can see that soft plastic is sitting where that pre-bend is in that hook, and it's sitting right there. Next thing you want to do is see where your hooks, you know, get your hook set on the bait. You want to see where it's going to stop and mark that with your fingers, you know, your thumb and your forefinger, with your index finger. And then you want to bring that hook back right where your fingers are and work that through, and you want to make sure it's centered of that bait. Work it through. You can see it's nice and straight now on that hook. So the next thing I do is, since I fish around a lot of weeds, is I take that hook point, pull back, push in on that soft plastic, and I embed the hook point into that soft plastics. So it kind of makes it weedless, and then when the fish bites on this, pushes it down, and it exposes that hook point. This Elastec stuff is pretty durable, so it kind of holds in there, but it exposes that hook point, and then you set your hook and it gets into the fish's mouth. So I usually keep it pretty tight because, I mean, pushed in there pretty good because I want to keep it as weedless as possible. Then as your weight comes down on your line, it covers the knot of your line. So you can see how nice and straight that is, and that is your Texas rig. So depending on what size worm you're using, creature crawl, they'll change the size of hook that you're going to want to use, and however fast you want your bait to fall or penetrate some weeds is the heavier the weight you're going to want to go. There's your Texas rig.